Hello everybody and welcome back to Sunshine Islands. It is now the 29th day of winter and it's kind of our last day before the season wraps up to get things done that we would like to accomplish. I've gone ahead and taken care of the animals already. And we're going to stop by Chen's today. I have some old tools to sell. I have some upgraded versions of them. And there's also a couple of things I'd like to buy from Chen today. It is Witch Princess's birthday, so we have to go and make sure we give her a gift. And beyond that, I don't know. We'll just kind of go with the flow here. It's a cloudy day. It's not actually snowing for once, which is nice because it tends to snow a lot in the wintertime. And of course, on the very last day of winter, when it's a festival and I can't get any hard events, it's going to be sunny. Just my luck. But oh well, that just means my animals get to stay out, I guess. This would also give Chen and Charlie their gifts. I haven't been keeping track of how many days I've been giving them gifts for, but hopefully I won't have to give them too many more before I get their sunstones. They already both have 2 hearts, so once I give them their gifts, I should be able to get the household sunstone relatively quickly as well. Oh, and Charlie actually has one for us, so that was his 5th gift. And he just happened to find it completely by accident. So once we get Chen's gift sunstone, we can get his household sunstone and we'll be golden. We'll be good to go. So let's sell the old tools first. I bought an upgraded hoe because I'm going to need one come springtime for the rice paddy. And I already had a sickle that had 2 slots, as you can see, but I found an upgraded one with 3 slots, and I thought, well, why not? 3 slots would come in handy potentially in the future. So we'll just go ahead and sell those and make a little bit of our money back. And we have quite a bit of money to work with right now. So we are going to buy some seeds from him. You can see that despite the fact that it's winter, we have a lot of choice. We have all of our different types of tree seeds. We have grass seeds to grow grass for our barn animals to eat. And we have rice seeds available. So come springtime, I'm going to want to plant rice ASAP. And I'm also going to want to get started on trees because trees take a very, very long time to grow, and rice also takes a very, very long time to grow. Rice, fortunately, once we plant it, we pretty much don't have to do anything. We don't even have to check on it really for about 2 months until it's ready to pick. Trees, on the other hand, require a ton of maintenance. And I kind of have to play my cards as to which trees I'm going to plant when, because certain trees are very, very sensitive to water, for example. So some trees I may want to hold off on planting until the late spring or early summer or whatever. So just to kind of start things off, I guess I will buy, let's say 6 bags worth of rice seeds. That should do us. I might need more, I might need less, but I have the money to spend, so we'll put a bit of money towards that. And I think I'm going to start by buying 2 of every tree. And keep in mind that these seeds available right now are available all year. You can buy these from Chen at any time. So if you don't have the money to buy rice seeds or tree seeds or whatever the case may be, don't panic. You can always get these from him at pretty much any time. I'm gonna buy 1 banana tree because they're very sensitive. And I probably won't be planting bananas for a while. I'll wait and kind of plant them a bit closer to summer. And we'll buy ourselves, finally, to end things off, we'll buy ourselves some peach seeds. And now our toolbox is full of seeds. While I had the money to do that, of course, I'm going to hold off on grass seeds just because my animals still will not be able to grow out for a little while because they're still in their baby stage. And I also have not made a little fence area for the barn animals as of yet. So I'm going to hold off on grass seeds. Fodder isn't really all that expensive to buy. I'm not too worried about it right now. So I just blew a lot of money on seeds, and I still will have money left over for seeds to plant crops. The crop seeds that I'm going to need come springtime. Because of course we're going to be getting back into crops now. Of course winter we've had a nice long break from really having to do anything because there's not really anything that we can grow, but it'll be nice to get back into the swing of things, I think. And while I'm over on this island, I might as well just go and say hello and give out some gifts and things like that. My rucksack is still pretty full of gifts. And I've still been kind of working on villagers' affections and things like that. But my socializing has decreased significantly. I do tend to kind of skip out on a lot of people. There are some villagers I just don't talk to at all because to me it's just not worth it. I don't really get anything great for my birthday. I don't need them for events and things like that. I'll say hi to them kind of if they're in my immediate vicinity, but otherwise it's kind of just a time save at this point. And we have to remember to go and say hello to Witch Princess, of course. And I feel bad because she's one of those villagers I kind of seem to be missing out on or neglecting. Just because sometimes... Ooh, she's got an orange heart now, Lana. Look at that. I don't always think to go to the Mystic Islands if I'm running out of time, or if there's not really anything over there to pick in the off-season. If I'm thinking I can go over there and at least get some flowers or some lumber or something, then yeah, it's definitely worth my time, but that's less and less and less in the wintertime. I also feel really bad because yesterday, for example, it was snowing, and we never got around to going over to Mushroom Island, and I realized that I left my pig outside, and I don't even know if I fed it. Because again, Mushroom Island, especially in the wintertime when there are no mushrooms, I tend to just kind of forget about it entirely. But I find the pig's affection is still very difficult to sort of work up. I think it still has only one heart. And leaving it out in the rain and the snow is not going to help my case any, so I do need to be a little more diligent about that, at least until we get the pig's sunstone, and then I can just kind of do what I did last time and just forget about it forever. I would like to make an effort to be able to figure out the truffle sniffing mechanics, but I've just never been able to get a good handle on it, and the pig's friendship just seems to go so slowly. Now, I haven't ignored these guys long enough that they're not going to accept gifts, or so I hope. I think at the most I would probably go 2 or 3 days without talking to them, but once they trust you, I think you have to go longer than a week without talking to them before they start to sort of ignore you again, and you have to restart the whole system of talking to them every day. So I was giving her black herbs and purple herbs because those were her 300 point gift items, and I had a lot of them, but I've saved my red herb, which is a 500 point gift item, just for today, just to get myself some extra heart points with her on her birthday. Alright, I totally forgot that it was my birthday. Thanks. You're welcome. A potion that turns Nick into a girl would be so funny. Yeah. Do I want to marry this woman? I don't know. I'd honestly be kind of scared that I would wake up and, I don't know, my skin would be a different color, or I'd wake up with spots, or, you know, it'd be like a Freaky Friday situation and we would switch places. I don't know. Or you know what? Maybe she's just all talk and she wouldn't actually do any of those things. It's hard to say. Well, that was kind of all I had on the agenda, honestly, was just to make sure that I stopped in at Chen's to buy those things. I went over a lot of what I had to cover yesterday. And again, because it is cloudy and not a sunny day, unfortunately, I am not able to trigger any heart events. Oh, we can actually trigger lilies, which is perfect, so that's great. Oh, it's you. I'm treasure hunting again. Are you here for ore? Can you help me today? You look like you could be useful. Well, of course. Thanks, you're so nice. Start looking for ore. I'll help out. You're not gonna find any out here. You'd have to go inside the mine. Look at this. I still think lava is amazing. Not everyone gets to see it up close. That's why I can't help but stare. You think so too? I'm glad you do. Thanks for helping me. Thanks to you, I got a lot of ore. I hope you'll help me again. Bye. Oh, that's such a pleasant surprise. I figured I would come here just to test out whether or not we could trigger that event, and it looks like we could, even though it's a cloudy day, which is great. You can trigger that first event by coming over to Volcano Island in between 10 o'clock in the morning and 2 o'clock in the afternoon. And you can actually see now that the event actually fast-forwarded the clock. I think it was about 11 when we came over, and now it's 2. So it did eat up a little bit of our time today, but that's okay. This is just sort of a winter wrap-up video anyways, so I wasn't really doing anything too crazy and spectacular anyhow, so... I checked my log and I've shipped about 26 fish, if we're being exact. So we're about a quarter of the way there to getting our fishing sunstone, which is still a very long ways to go. I'll have to ship a lot more before we hit that 100 mark. I went ahead and I also adjusted some of my Wonderfuls off screen. You can see that I took the purple Wonderful out of my watering can because I needed all 3 spots in order to give myself some more range on my watering can. So now that I've adjusted it, you can see that we can actually water the full 9 squares, which is fantastic. That is going to make our crop maintenance much faster. So if you want to see how I did that, I used our red and our blue Wonderfuls. So I used 2 red and 1 blue in order to get the 3 by 3 squared area. And if we really wanted to, I was going to say I might be able to actually put those on my hoe, and then what I could do is I could till the land and then go back to Charlie and swap it to the watering can and then use it for the watering can, just to save myself even more time. But my hoe only has 2, so that would only work. I could swap it and work with that a little bit, but I'm not too worried about it. The watering is, of course, the biggest thing that I wanted to make sure I saved a little bit of time on, because once you've tilled the land, you can plant stuff on it, and then, you know, watering becomes your main responsibility. But I will need to take one of my yellow wonderfuls off and put it into my hoe, which I guess is something I should do right now. And I think my yellow wonderful is actually in my hammer right now, because I was using it to break down boulders. And I haven't mentioned it yet, but as you can see here by looking at my field, I managed to clear this out, and I did a pretty good job if I do say so myself. If you look back a couple of videos ago, I was pretty much dumping everything that I was finding onto my farm. So I was taking all of the boulders and all of the branches and everything, and I was just kind of dumping it. And my field was looking very, very full. And I was getting kind of concerned I wasn't going to clear it in time to be able to have crops, but that's not the case. It's pretty cleared out, which is great. So we're going to take the yellow one off, and we will put the yellow one on the hoe. And the reason that I want to do that is because when we equip the yellow one, you will see now that the rice paddy becomes an option. You cannot grow rice in the rice paddy unless you have a yellow wonderful on your hoe, because it's not powerful enough to be able to till the soil in the rice paddy. So if you have a yellow wonderful on another tool and you don't have another one to spare, I would honestly just swap it onto the hoe, get your rice planted, and then swap it back, because the rice takes so long to grow that you would only need to really use the hoe on the rice paddy once a year if you're planting all your rice all at one time. And I guess I could put the purple wonderful in as well, but I'm not too sure if I want to do that. When I go to till the rice, I might have to put a blue or a red in there just so I can do more than one square at a time. But anyways, I'll worry about that when the time comes. I've already spent enough time talking about tools, and I'm going to call it done for now. So overall, I think I pretty much accomplished everything that I wanted to accomplish in the wintertime. I wanted to have both bridges built by Ganon to the rice and the fruit island, and we did that. We built both of those bridges. We've been able to make really good progress with mining. I was able to get down far enough that we can get presents for Lily and get her hearts moving, which is fantastic, because she is quite a bit behind. We've managed to get quite a few sunstones. We discovered the really cool sort of fishing trick with hiring the sprites. I mean, there's really a lot that we've done. I know that there's not as much to do in-game in the wintertime, but we also got a barn, we got animals. I think we really have accomplished a lot, and for our first year in this game, I'm telling you, I have done so much more, and I've saved so much time in this game this time around playing compared to when I first played. I was definitely not in the place that I'm at now, and I think we're in really good shape to go into year 2 and beyond. So tomorrow is just the end of the year festival. Basically, it's a nighttime festival, so I'll kind of talk a little bit more about our year-end goals. We'll go over our assets probably at that time, and we'll go to the festival and we will celebrate by breaking into year 2 and then figuring out what we're going to do from that point onwards. Thank you all so very much for watching, and I hope that I will see you next time.